There is an anterior lobe, there is the adenohypophysis, that is the first part. Here the anterior lobopituitary gland consists of two type of cells. There is a chromophobe cells and chromophil cells. Chromophobe cells, that is in which granules are not prominent. It is not a secretory nature, but it is a precursor for the chromophil cells. Usually it contribute, that is a 50% of the total cells in the anterior pituitary. Then second one is the chromophil cells. Chromophil cell contain large granules and are darkly stained. According to the secretory nature, they are classified as, that is somatotrophs, that is around 30 to 40% of the cell of the anterior pituitary gland. Somatotrophs which secrete the growth hormones that stimulate the general body growth and regulate the metabolism. Then second, that is chromophil cells are thyrotrophs, that is these cells constitute about the 5% that secrete the thyroid stimulating hormone which control the activities of thyroid gland. Another cells of chromophil cells are the, that is secreted cell gonadotrophs. About 4 to 5% of these cells are there. They secrete two powerful hormones which are responsible for controlling the sexual dysfunction, that follicle stimulating hormones and luteinizing hormones. Another hormone is lactotrophs that constitute 3 to 5% of these, that is anterior glands. They secrete the prolactin hormone which initiate the milk production in mammary glands. Next one is the corticotrophs. These type of cells constitute 20% of the, that is anterior lobes. They secrete two different type of hormone, that is adrenocorticotropic hormone, stimulate the adrenal cortex and secrete the glucocorticoids like hormones. Second one is the melanocyte stimulating hormone, that is MSH, shortly we can call that is MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone. They stimulate the production and release of melanin by the melanocytes in the skin and hair. The basis of the, now what we discussed now means, that is depends upon the secretory nature of cells. These chromophil cells are classified as this type, that means this way. Now that is based on the staining property, chromophil cells are divided in two types, that is the acidophils which constitute around 35%, especially somatotrophs and lactotrophs are come under this category. Then the rest of the all corticotrophs and gonadotrophs, thyrotrophs, all are come under the basophilic cells because it take the basic stain is a basophilic which constitute the 50% of the these chromophil cells. Now the pituitary second portion, that is a neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis, that is the posterior lobe. It is made up of the, that is a neural type of cells is called as an pituicytes. That's pituicytes, and that is a myelinated nerve fibers. Pituicytes do not possess the secretory in nature. These pituitaries are derived from the glial cells. It is only supporting cells, that means that do not secrete the hormones. But in the case of unmyelinated nerve fibers come from the that is supraoptic and paraventricular nuclei of the hypothalamus through the there is a pituitary stalk. Actually, that is here the supraoptic that is a nucleus that secrete the antidiuretic hormone, paraventricular nucleus that secrete the that is oxytocin. Here the posterior pituitary gland part is also contain some mast cells, there is a neuroglial cells and some the hyaline bodies and some blood vessels, etc. Posterior pituitary does not synthesize hormone, but it stores the hormone. Here store the hormone in the hypophyseal, that is nerve fibers, at the end of the hypophyseal nerve fibers. Here that is hormones are synthesized in the two important portion of in the hypothalamus, that is the supraoptic nucleus and paraventricular nucleus. Supraoptic nucleus that mainly secrete the antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin, but the paraventricular nucleus that secretes the oxytocin. Here these hormones are synthesized and that is transported to the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland with the help of the protein is called as an neurophysin. Neurophysin are nothing but binding proteins that help the transport of there is a hormone from the hypothalamus to the posterior pituitary portion through the hypophyseal, that is a stalk. So that is the posterior pituitary glands. Now we move to what are the important hormone that is secreted by the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. That is the first one is the oxytocin, second one is the antidiuretic hormones or vasopressin. Antidiuretic hormone is mainly secreted by the supraoptic, that is the nucleus in the hypothalamus, but in a small quantity, that is ADH is also secreted from the paraventricular nucleus. This half-life, it is a polypeptide hormone. Half-life is 18 to that is a 20 minutes. That is here it has a two important action. The first action is the retention of water. Second action is the vasopressor action. Here this hormone, that is an antidiuretic hormone, which mainly act on there is a collecting duct of a kidney and increase the reabsorption of a water by increasing the permeability to the water. This increased reabsorption lead to the decrease the urine output, that is a urine volume. Here that means the urine become more concentrated. The next action is the vasopressor action. Vasopressor action means here the antidiuretic hormone that has some vasoconstrictor effect on, that is blood vessels. That means here vasoconstriction action that lead to the increase the blood pressure. Here there is mainly this vasoconstrictor effect on the arteries of in all parts of the body that lead to the increase the blood pressure. Is another, that is actions, that is another accessories actions of antidiuretic hormones are it increase the glycogenolysis, that is a breakdown of the glycogen to glucose in the liver. It stimulates the adrenocorticotropic hormones from the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland that regulate the aldosterone secretion from the adrenal cortex, and ADH is also decrease the water lost through the sweating. Then how to control the antidiuretic hormone? Here the two important that is condition that increase or decrease the secretion of antidiuretic hormone. That means already we have learned that is the first function is the retention of the water. That means when the deficiency of a antidiuretic hormone that lead to the increase the urine out, that is a polyuria is occur, diuresis is occur. So that condition is called as a diabetes insipidus. So here the how to control the antidiuretic hormone secretion means there is a condition. First one is the osmolality of plasma. That means any increase in the plasma osmolarities that stimulate the osmoreceptors. These osmoreceptors are present in the hypothalamus. From the hypothalamus, this blood, any changes in the osmolarity in the blood that stimulate the osmoreceptors, and that result the stimulation of the hypothalamus, that especially the paraventricular nucleus, and there is a supraoptic nucleus. So here, because of this stimulation of this nucleus, that secretes the antidiuretic hormone, so that decrease the osmolality. That means that is happening the when the stimulation is occur means when the blood osmolality that means increase. That condition only, that is these osmoreceptors are stimulated. Here the sodium level is also the sodium increase. The sodium level is the potent stimulator for the ADH secretion. Another important stimulant of stimulating effect of the and ADH secretion is there is a hypovolemic effect. That means when the decrease the extracellular fluid volume means definitely that is ADH secretion is increased. Then if the ECF volume is increased means decrease the antidiuretic hormone secretion. That means some apart from this, some other condition like emotional excitement, pain, and some surgical conditions, these nausea, these all conditions, that is ADH secretion is also increased. But if you take the alcohol, that means alcohol intake means that decrease the secretion of antidiuretic hormone. Another important hormone secreted by the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland is an oxytocin. Oxytocin is a octapeptide hormone. Oxytocin is mainly secreted by the paraventricular nucleus of the hypothalamus. In small quantity, there is supraoptic nucleus is also secreted. The half-life of the oxytocin is only 6 minutes. The main action on the oxytocin means that contraction, due to the contraction of the main action of the oxytocin on the mammary gland, thereby it causes the contraction of myoepithelial cells that resulting the ejaculation of milk from the primed breast. Primed means the lactating and pregnant conditions. That is during that time, that is a more milk is ejected from the breast because of the oxytocin action. Because oxytocin is the hormone that contract the myoepithelial cells which is present in the mammary glands. Because of the contraction of the myoepithelial cells, the milk ejected to the alveolus, ejected from the alveolus to the outer surface of the breast through the nipples. So that is the first action of the oxytocin. Plenty of touch receptors are present around the nipples. So during the infant suckles the nipple that lead to the stimulation of the touch receptor. These impulses carried by somatic nerve fibers to the hypothalamus, where there is a paraventricular nucleus. Paraventricular nucleus are stimulated, thereby the large amount of the oxytocin is secreted, that lead to the secretion of milk, that is called as a milk ejection reflex. Initially this milk ejection reflex is stimulated by the nerve factors, and this process is completed with the help of the hormone. That's why it's called as that is endocrine, neuroendocrine reflex. This reflex is also called as a neuroendocrine reflex, because this reflex is started with the nerve impulses, and finally it is completed with the hormones like oxytocin. Oxytocin action is on the pregnant uterus. That means the oxytocin increases sensitivity of pregnant uterus by increasing the oxytocin receptors. That means more oxytocin receptors are there, its action is also more. That means it stimulates the contraction of a uterine muscles during the labor, thereby there is easy expulsion of the fetus from the cervix. So that is another action of the oxytocin. Here the oxytocin, that initial stage of the pregnancy, due to some sexual hormones like estrogen, progesterone, the oxytocin secretion is inhibited, and later, that is the last stage of the pregnancy, the oxytocin secretion is more, but due to the positive feedback mechanism, once the oxytocin secretion is increased, so the uterine contraction is more, that stimulate the more oxytocin secretion. So that is essential for the labor. During the labor, both cervix is also relaxed, and the uterine contraction that help to that is expulsion or expel the fetus from the uterus. Or oxytocin also cause the contraction of the non-pregnant uterus. Here there is a main function is this due to the contraction of uterus, that helpful facilitate the sperm transport through the female genital organ to the fallopian tubes. That is the action on oxytocin on non-pregnant uterus. It is also helpful in the propel the sperm in the duct towards during the ejaculation in males. That means in males it helps the propel means push out, that is a sperm in the duct forwards during the ejaculation. Then next one is the control of the secretion of oxytocin. Oxytocin release is primarily increased by the stimulation of touch receptor in the breast, especially at the nipples, and this is called as a suckling reflex. Already we have discussed the same thing. It is also stimulated the sexual excitement. Its secretion is decreased by stress and sympathetic overactivity. That means sympathetic overactivity, and that is stress that decrease the release of oxytocin, but it increases the release of oxytocin during the sexual excitements, and during the that is in the stimulation of the touch receptor, that is also lead to the increase the secretion of a oxytocin. Secretion is increased from the paraventricular nucleus and supraoptic nucleus. Okay, thank you for watching this video.